Again, we're good.
Hi, I'm Jim.
And I'm Zach.
So this is the Backyard Road Trips podcast. Part two.
Yep.
Zach, you want to do the honors again? Who we have with us?
Yeah, well, we have our friends Jon and Beth from Preston and Cincinnati, and they now all live in Cincinnati.
All two of us.
And the good doctor,
yeah.
does he want me to use his name? He was weird about it earlier. Dr. Eric blank. I'll just bleep it out. Eric Raymond, and I'll bleep it out later.
Just bleep it out later.
Yeah. He's sitting on the couch, very candidly, looking up his things on his internet, but we'll get him over here on a microphone soon enough.
Right.
You gotta get the football scores, the true football scores. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, the World Cup's going on right now, Eric. Who's ahead? 0-0.
I think he called.
Huge shocker.
I think he called that one.
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to call, actually, probably the rest of them. A lot of these games are just going to be 0-0.
0-0.
I think I might be having
in
to
a big mile-long field, and they
so
they get too exhausted to do anything.
That's when they fall over and pretend to be really hurt until somebody, you know.
You hear that, Eric? No one likes soccer.
Actually, it's funny.
Your mic's cutting out.
Weird. We go to FC game. We have FC Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
It's the MLS team now.
Wow.
And Cincy Wutsky.
So you don't go to the Reds games, but you go to FSC Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. FC sucks too, but
Okay.
at least it's more fun.
How about the Bengals?
FC sucks in a higher league now, though.
Yeah,
so,
FC sucks in a higher league. Yeah,
It's
so they don't play at UC anymore. They were playing at UC, and then they built a whole new stadium with the state-of-the-art rib lighting on the outside.
How about the Bengals?
How
I've
about
never been to a
the
Bengals
Bengals?
game. Yeah,
I
mean,
Joe Mixon's crazy.
They were in the Super Bowl.
Joe
last
Burrow
year.
lives in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
He's a couple blocks away from us. So,
Wow.
You know.
Not necessarily a bragging point around these parts.
Yeah. It's our claim to fame. It's about all I know about football.
Mhm.
So,
Joe Burrow.
Is that Joe Burrow lives near us.
Nice.
He's
Have you seen him?
a football star of some kind.
We have
I
not.
have
The
not.
people in
No.
the neighborhood definitely just drive by and hope to see him, which is
Yeah.
super creepy.
And I guess some people have seen him out with like a little dog or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess he just keeps pretty low profile when he's
Right.
home. But in any case,
We have a neighbor who has super short blonde hair,
Mhm.
and she said sometimes people stop her on runs thinking that she's Joe Burrow.
Oh, that's
which
funny.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop
the
anyone with a little
boobs
dog.
Oh, right, exactly.
Just from the back.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the back. Yeah,
It's got a womanly figure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm in those tights.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I should probably do the microphone right from the bathroom because I've had so much liquid so far.
Oh, I know.
Right, yeah. No, it's fine. You're about to have more because
So
we're gonna get
turn
into
back on the
we're gonna get into the
bathroom.
truth
Yeah.
of the matter.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
what is it? What do you got here?
So this is from Rheingeist. It's this. I don't. Okay, so we don't really drink a lot of Rheingeist beers. They all
Right.
have a very distinct flavor.
They have a house flavor.
Yeah,
Okay. They got their own strain of yeast then?
they
Is that
must.
what's going
They
on?
must.
They have to,
Yeah.
or it
So-
just travels through.
Mm.
It's a big old building.
The water, maybe. Who knows?
Exactly.
Like it's,
Yeah, a lot
it's
of
something.
things can contribute, but they definitely have it across all of their beers. And
Yeah.
They have from when they started.
But this is their classic IPA because everybody has an IPA. But this is what they started off with. Actually, when I was living in OTR, this brewery was almost equidistant from where I lived to where Beth lived, and so it was halfway in between. And they had just opened when I was.
So we met
there
there often, and then our buddy,
Yeah.
your friend, would meet there with us, and
Yeah.
then he liked this bartender, and they ended up dating, and now
Now they're engaged.
She's
Wow.
moved on from Rheingeist to be the bar manager at Matry, which is a way better working environment.
Yeah.
But yeah, now they're engaged. So Cincinnati has a
Yeah.
very beautiful beer-based love story.
And he's
for everyone.
he's another New Englander too. He's from
Yes,
Cape
he's
Cod.
from Cape Cod.
Yeah, and he actually came to our wedding in Salem, and he wore teal shorts with a blazer.
Cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, very Massachusetts vibe.
very,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cape Cod vibe. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. We're we're getting married in the woods, so just wear whatever. And he shows up in boat shoes and teal shorts, and I mean, it was
And a
hot as
blazer.
balls out. So
It was all good. We said forest formal, forest on the bottom, a little nice
Yeah,
on
it was,
top.
it was fine.
Forest formal.
Yeah,
That-
like
yeah.
a vest and some
Connecticut casual.
chacos.
Well,
Yeah.
not Connecticut casual.
Grass skirt.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's from a forest.
Yeah. So in any case, so we're
Lots
about
of
to get into
interpretation.
the truth. It's their IPA. It is their most popular beer for sure. Although apparently their tap room says otherwise. Apparently,
What is it? The cheetah?
Cheetah or cougar?
That makes sense.
I can't remember which one. I think cougar.
They don't brew that often. It's probably the cheetah.
It could be cheetah.
Yeah, the Blondale.
Ayo cheetah.
Ayo cheetah.
I feel like Blondale's used to be often like a flagship places, and now it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like Blondale's kind of gone the way of the wildebeest.
So
I'm just going to keep circling back to talking about Nine Giants since we don't have their beer here.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because their beer is
very
fantastic.
rarely have an IPA on tap.
This is called My Giant.
Or they have one.
This is
let the other people do
True
the
Giant.
IPA.
What's the other
so
one?
Nine Giant, like the number 9.
Nine Giant was a movie.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel as the actor.
Yeah, so 9
right there. Am I right about that?
So Nine Giant is our favorite brewery, but actually, so our previous favorite brewery was this place called Black Slate, which closed when we were on our honeymoon. It was walking distance from our house.
Saddest thing ever. Yeah, we could walk there. We could ride our bikes there. They made the best beer.
And we were outside of cell service where we were honeymooning in the Adirondacks, and so when we finally got into cell service on our way back home, people were texting us. They're like, "What's up with Blank Slate? What's happening?" And it was very sad that they closed. There was I don't know, they couldn't keep up with the demand of when they started canning, I guess, or whatever. It was this whole debacle. But in any case, so there were great breweries, and there is a great brewery. We didn't bring any of their beer, but we'll talk about it. And a lot of their beer names come from music and whatnot.
Oh, so, they name a lot of things after the national songs. Which
they're from the area too.
Yeah, so we've actually run into Brian Devendorf.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Drummer,
multiple times. A few shots in my REI a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
I met him at a Spoon show in Cincinnati. Like
I saw Spoon
this
this year
year.
too.
We saw him this year. That's
Spoon band.
3 or 4 years ago.
Because
The
it
new album's
sounds
really
like
good.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Lucifer
Here
on
for
the
my
sofa.
spoons.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that too.
So yeah, we saw Spoon and Interpol.
They toured here too. I just saw Spoon by themselves, but then they did the tour of the Interpol too over the summer.
Yeah. And when I met Brian Devendorf of the National, it was at Spoon and Grizzly Bear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought they lived in Brooklyn now or something.
Well, no. So they're all over the country.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. So Brian and his wife's named Beth too. I met her. We were buying beer. We were in line together.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So he's a super nice guy. But he lives in the Cincinnati area, and then there are other members like in New York State, and then California, and maybe New York City too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
At all.
Matt lives in California.
Yeah, but in any case, but they started at I guess they met in DAP at UC, I should say.
Which is their industrial design program.
Oh, okay.
So like world renowned.
Yeah, art and industrial design.
And so like super small world, right? John went to art school for college, and then he applied for grad school at DAP in Cincinnati.
Oh, really?
And they lost his application. Oh. So he would have ended up potentially in Cincinnati years earlier. Yeah. We probably never would have crossed paths, or we would have not,
But like, I don't know, I ended up moving to New York City instead at that point.
I knew you lived in New York. Wow.
Yeah, I lived in New York for almost 5 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was in Queens, but I was working in Manhattan. That's when I started with the USDA.
Okay.
So I was inspecting trees all over
Inspecting egg.
It was milk.
Yeah. No, I was doing any of that. No, I did not work for the FDA, the USDA.
Oh,
so I was safeguarding American agriculture. Actually just looking at trees.
What is USDA cool. beef then?
Well, that's a whole.
That's
it's part of the agricultural program. Come on.
So the department that we work for was USDA APHIS, so Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services.
Yeah.
Like milk.
Right.
But
so like
PPQ
that is so then we worked for the PPQ, which was Plant Protection and Quarantine. Like specifically plant.
A lot of acronyms.
Yes. USDA actually, so if you ever looked at like my business card at that time, it was like USDA, APHIS, PPQ, ALB.
Right.
Do you have a collection of your business cards?
I'm sure I have them around somewhere.
You should.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say.
I do also know the project manager. I have assistant project manager.
Foreman.
Tree climber foreman.
I didn't know what TDY actually stood for until you said it earlier.
Today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't
until
know
today.
No, I mean,
tour
it stands
duty
for today. Oh, tour of duty.
Eric's done a tour of duty. Afghanistan.
Oh.
I guess that's way under.
Yeah.
Actually, the other way.
There was a guy trying to get me to do a TDY in Afghanistan at one point, and he was talking about all the cool stuff that, as a USDA employee, that you get to do, and like be a passenger in a car for like you go through their defensive driving thing, which is apparently like you're trying to get out of areas being bombed and whatnot.
Right.
So,
that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, he said it was actually one of the most fun trainings he ever did. He's like, you'd be surprised how fast a car can go in reverse. And like,
oh wow.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so that's really... interesting training. I never did it, but I wasn't an officer. I wasn't qualified to that particular PDY. But in any case.
So in any case, John, working for the section of the USDA inspecting trees in New York City, actually yielded him having to go to a lot of like rooftop areas because there's a surprising amount of trees, I guess, being grown on like roofs in New York.
Yeah. So I was I would go to these like the most famous I guess was a rooftop so much as just like a balcony was Don Imus.
Oh really?
Okay. He wasn't home. His neighbor. They had like a shared thing over near Central Park, and that was
his neighbor just let you in.
She let us in. She was an author of some kind, and it was interesting too because like we had to go door to door to get access to all these places. So we're talking to all these people, and there were definitely people that when they answered, they had this air of like, you should know who I am.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't know who you are. Right. I just need to look at.
It was Joe Barrow.
I'm just here for your tree, man.
I just need to look at whatever trees you might have on your property.
Right.
I don't care who you are, but there were definitely times where it was like, oh yeah, and I there were a couple when I left to go to Boston. I got some pictures from some of my coworkers when they were holding Edward Norton's awards and whatnot, because apparently he was super like they went to do his property. He was home, and he was super cool with and everything. And they were like, "Oh, can we hold like this Oscar or whatever the hell it was?" So like I'm getting pictures from my old coworkers, and that was like cool. You got my assignment when I left, and I would have man, that would have been cool to do that.
I don't think so.
Oh, sorry, I'm having a side conversation. Point. I said that's cool. Weird, but maybe not as weird as Sean Penn bringing his Oscar to President
Ukraine. Yeah, that's
of Ukraine.
Yeah,
I did not see that.
It's a whole weird thing.
That sounds very bizarre.
Yeah.
Sean Penn said, "Here, I brought you this Oscar to help you win the war, but bring it back to me in Miami when you're done."
Oh, okay. Yeah. This whole thing is over.
Yeah.
Does he have CTE? Like, did he play in the NFL?
Yeah, right. There's well.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Derailed that one.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wow. Yeah.
How did you go from art school to trees?
So
Bob Ross.
Yeah. Okay. No, so it's when I was home on breaks and whatnot.
Child Hassan. So
I started working
the Hudson River School.
No, you had it at Bob Ross.
Okay, I know. I'm thinking about that.
Bob Ross. Yeah.
Go on, John.
So I was working for a small landscaping company out of Groton during the summers, and I did that after I graduated. I didn't get into any of the grad schools that I applied to, and as we were saying before, one of them lost my application. I know that because they were the only ones who were like, "Yeah, you should apply again," kind of thing, and they lost. They lost, and I actually ended up working at UC for a year and a half or so, and I understand why.
Okay,
it makes sense now. So did that, and then with all that experience and having a college degree, I was able to get into the U.S.
Oh, wow.
I was experienced enough to look at invasive pests.
Okay.
And then that started the whole career of going into arboriculture and becoming a certified arborist. And so then now I'm doing horticulture work for Cincinnati Parks, and that it's all based on that experience. But now I get to do a little more of the creative stuff. I get to design.
Okay. Which your art background really helps with.
Yeah, which it absolutely does. Yeah.
Landscape architect.
Yeah.
Essentially,
essentially without the degree for that.
Right.
Yeah, but I get to do seasonal displays and permanent displays, all this stuff.
Cool. All right, Beth, how about you?
In terms of
what got you like into your career path?
The biology or the REI?
Well, I think all of it.
True. It's the whole career.
You started as the researcher. I know that, but like, what did you go to school? Did you like get a fancy degree? That
I went
John?
to UC.
Well, my degree is not this.
And I got a bachelor in science for biology and environmental studies. I double majored. So then I did biology fieldwork, and then I worked for an environmental nonprofit for a while, like trying to impact sustainable legislature, and it was Ohio Citizen Action. So we worked on like fracking campaigns and things like that, within the state of Ohio, but it was in a larger, like nonprofit network. So I actually came out here and worked in like out of New Haven, out of the Hamden office.
Oh, really?
For a citizens campaign for the environment, and canvassed all around like Western Connecticut for a while.
That's when I found our house.
Yeah, and so lots of little things like that. But that was like a very interesting working environment. Like, didn't value the workers themselves. I learned a lot, progressed a lot. It was very vigorous. We're like literally outside in all weather conditions, just like hustling,
knocking on doors.
Yeah, talking to people, talking to some shitty people, meeting some really cool people. You know, I got really like refreshed for humanity, which I don't think I expected, knocking on people's doors randomly. You know, the amount of people who were like, I don't give a shit about anything you want to talk to me about, but it's like snowing outside. I'm like, can I just use your bathroom? They're like, yeah, sure. But this one lady was like super shitty at her door. And we go around like, I have a whole neighborhood assigned per day, right? Everybody does. And then we circle back. And as I circle back, she like flagged me down and ran out and hugged me and was like, hey, I want to apologize for how I, responded to you earlier. Like one of my best friends just died and my phone has been ringing nonstop all day. And I literally was about to take a bath and just like unplug, and you knocked on the door. And I couldn't handle it. Like, but I'm sorry. I still can't I can't take in what you're trying to do. But can you leave me with information? I'm happy to take it.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, just that reminder of like at any given moment, some person being shitty has something intense probably happening in their life. And like, let's give each other some grace. And yeah.
Excellent.
So,
yeah.
And then,
I went from nonprofit work to, I never really fit in like the science world. I did like research. I worked in a lab. We had a this whole like tall building. It's called Crosley Tower at UC. Did they finally tear it down?
They have not torn it down.
Oh my god, it's like the shittiest concrete building. They've been trying to tear it down for like 10 years.
It's falling apart, but also will not actually fall apart because of how it's a single pour concrete building, which is crazy because it's, I don't know, 10 stories.
Yeah. So then it's just like all little research labs in there. So we met like multiple floors of like labs of researchers, like undergrad, grad students, PhD students. Everybody met up just on like luncheon or like, snacks and stuff in a hallway. And these people are talking about their research. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, so what do you guys like do? Like at the lab, what are your hobbies? What makes you you? And they couldn't answer. They just like deer in the headlights are like, what? Like zero social skills, like science people. Yeah. I was like, oh, this isn't the environment for me long term, and I love field work, but like it's not sustainable to like have a home base. And I love the nonprofit work, but it was like rigorous. So then I found REI ultimately, which was like a really good culture to work for and a good place to like, I get to teach people about being outside, about leave no trace. Like we are literally travel therapists. People come in like freaking the fuck out about the trip they're going on and all the things they need. And we get to just help them like learn how to feel inspired and confident and go out and have fun. And yeah. And so for the past couple of years, I've been helping like expand our cycle business and, grow our bike shop. And now I'm working in my district growing like cycling. So, yeah.
Well, that's so cool.
It's
fun. Yeah.
And actually today is Opt Outside Day.
It is.
REI does, they shut down on Black Friday and give everybody the day off.
We do pay our employees to get outside on Black Friday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just like don't pay the employees and make them go to the
They said they paid.
Right.
I'm kidding.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I started there, it was 2015. It was my first retail job ever. Like I had done food service before. But I was not looking forward to working retail in the holidays. And it was the first year they decided to close for Black Friday. I don't have to work at Black Friday. And then they could never go back from that and just be like, just kidding, we're going to be open for Black Friday this year, right? Like it was a big impact and they were the first large organization to do it.
Yeah.
The next year, like Patagonia did it and a bunch of stores followed. So if you've seen like the hashtag Opt Outside, that is kind of where that started. And now it's transcended into just like spending time outside. But there are a lot of companies now. I saw one the other day that was interesting. It was like a random company you wouldn't expect to be closed on Black Friday and pay their employees to get outside. Yeah.
Big Lots is open on things.
Well,
Sure went.
Yeah, they were opting outside today, but they're
but they were there yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
gotta get your stuff, whatever is that big.
We should talk about your favorite vacations or favorite things that you've done in your many, many, many thousands of travels.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Well, we can just start off with did we want to open that other?
I mean, do you want to? Are you ready for that?
Sure. I don't care. Yeah. So I guess we can just kind of go back in time. So like from most recent, because we had fun. We went to a wedding, friends of ours, outside of Asheville, North Carolina, which is another like 5.5 hour drive for us from Cincinnati, and
probably not much traffic.
there wasn't a ton. It depends on which way you go.
Okay.
So like there's, if you go up towards Columbus, it can get pretty hairy going that way. But
okay.
And then if you go through like Knoxville sucks. I hate driving.
Oh, really?
Knoxville.
Okay.
It's terrible.
I always think of other places in the country just being like, okay, yeah, it's not much traffic. We're like, northeast.
Well, like my trip to West Virginia to go mountain biking, that was fine. It was just like barely any traffic. It was beautiful the entire way. It was a great time. But there wasn't much traffic going the route that we did. And we stayed outside of Asheville in this little town called Marshall. We stayed in teepee, like a permanent, like really
it's like a treehouse teepee.
Treehouse teepee. It had had like a bathroom, like full bathroom with a toilet and hot shower and everything. But it was built around a tree, so it was like a treehouse bathroom. And they had like these slat windows kind of thing, so when you're doing your business, you have this beautiful view of the woods and everything.
Oh, perfect.
So that was pretty cool.
The term that we coined in fieldwork of glory poo.
Yeah. So you could do a glory poo everywhere.
Anytime you have a good view.
Yeah, so we stayed in this teepee, which was, pretty unique, and it was just on this private property. We found it at Airbnb kind of thing. So that was pretty fun when we did a couple of hikes, and we went to this beautiful wedding and whatnot. And then there's all the breweries and everything down there, so we had to do a little bit of that too.
So that was like 2 weeks ago.
It was like 4 weeks ago.
How is it, by the way?
Good. It's really good.
About to try this. So
it smells like.
You know how this?
No, I did, but it's a high alcohol. You want to?
Yes,
I know.
I
got the one.
Gave yourself a pour.
This is the last. I got that.
I took a little bit because I was like, I feel like this is gonna be a lot.
Well. Okay, it's down. Okay, this is
very good. It does have that Utopia's taste.
Okay, I've never had the Utopias. That's
incredible.
So what is that? Is that a?
It's Sam Adams. It's the Utopias, right?
Yeah,
it's the fancy like $300 a bottle.
Yep, and it's like 28% alcohol. It doesn't taste anything like.
What's
beer.
the ABV in this?
That's
this is like 18.
Oh, geez, 18, and I've got myself.
Yeah, Zach's not driving tonight.
We got time.
I'm like,
we just like set part of that aside when you feel like you're ready and.
Eric, you want anything?
I'm like,
I know you're not a huge drinker, but I know you do. You wouldn't drink. Don't drink this.
You don't want to drink some Utopia? I poured myself a big glass.
Yeah, that's
18. Oh, 18. Awesome.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So it almost tastes like is the Utopia a barley wine?
I don't even think it's in a classification.
Yeah,
it's so high, but it's probably close to a barley wine.
There's like that sweetness.
It does have a sweetness
similar
like
to a barley wine,
yeah.
And that's how you get that high of alcohol too. It's like barley wine. Style.
I have no idea how they get to 28%.
Yeah, that's
barley stops at maybe 18.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But so it's like normally like 14, whatever.
Well, it's interesting because like the Boston Harbor Distillery does a Spirit of Boston, which they distill Sam Adams beer into liquor.
Okay.
Interesting.
So
interesting.
But they don't distill.
Yeah, that's just that
would just be such a huge waste.
Right.
Such a huge waste.
So I'm saying I wonder how
for $10,000 a bottle.
But. Right. Yeah. But I'm just wondering how, because they can't call the Spirit of Boston a whiskey, it has hops in it. So
right.
I didn't know that precluded it from being a whiskey.
Yeah,
I guess
I thought the malt bill had to be
certain
barley, malted barley,
certain percentage. They said nope because of hops.
Because of hops. Okay,
weird. Huh. Yeah, the Spirit
that makes sense.
Yeah, but they made one from Oktoberfest, a couple others.
We gotta go there.
Did your show say that Cincinnati also has the second largest Oktoberfest to Munich?
No, it didn't.
Because that's true.
Yep, that's a thing.
I'll tell you what, I learned a lot about Cincinnati.
I know.
We haven't even scratched the surface of Cincinnati.
I know. There's so much going on.
The zoo?
Wow.
Yeah. We haven't been in a while. They do a festival of lights, which is really fun. They sell beer, so you can ignore all the screaming children and whatnot.
You can drink beer.
I try to do that
now.
Yeah,
because it's Cincinnati.
Because it's Cincinnati.
They do that a lot.
It is a historic brewing town, so
right, true. What's one thing I've got to say about Midwest is that like being from the East Coast, I feel like I always felt very coastist, meaning like okay, there's the East Coast, there's the West Coast, Chicago, and other than that, kind of. And then back in my my youth of 20s, I was able to travel a bit and went to Detroit and Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Cleveland, and City, and wherever else. You off the top of my head, Pittsburgh, never did Cincinnati, but did a lot of other Midwestern cities. Just had a wonderful time. This is so cool. And there's so many, really great things to do. But I think living, this was, I remember around 2008, 2009, right when you saw like Time Magazine have pictures of Detroit. It looks like this is Beirut, and be like,
right.
All right, here's 4 abandoned buildings. The other side of the street, which you're not showing, is cool stuff that's going on, and that my trip to Detroit was just amazing. We ended up in that old train station they always show and that's the old Michigan Central Depot.
Okay.
Just wandering around an abandoned building, but legally because they was doing some like youth cleanup day of it. So we're like, come on, we'll show you. It was like, okay. Cool. So
Right.
ended up in a box at the Tigers game. Like everything was just cool, but like it was just fun to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Where I feel like the last city I explored that was kind of a random one was Tucson, which was like, why the hell would someone go to Tucson? Tucson was awesome. It was it was super like, it was a lot of neat spots. It was a very like 60s, 70s kind of retro downtown vibe to it. And it was really, great food and cool.
Yeah. So we've adopted this mode of travel of like, we only plan about a third of what we're going to do.
Okay, yeah.
Right? We have like main in and out transportation and lodging.
Yeah.
And it depends on where we're going. Like sometimes we might have lodging the whole time and then no plans.
Right.
Or like, here's the big thing that I want to see.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, surprisingly or not, John was really good at like meeting random local people and getting recommendations from people about stuff.
Right.
Where you just kind of like take the days, it flows, and then you experience so many things that you never would have known to go visit, just like trying to research before you get there, right? Yeah.
Or you follow the map wrong or whatever. Or when you're
that's my job.
When you're driving,
Beth Navigation is a true adventure time.
Yeah, we were driving the Ring of Kerry in Ireland, and you were looking at the map, not the GPS thing, right?
No, I was looking at the GPS.
You were looking at the GPS.
Well, it was a little bit both. So the map had like the ring and then this main road in the middle of it, and that's all it showed. So that's all you're going to show. I'm like, oh, well, that's obviously like a major route too, right? And so then I'm like, we're on this what's it called? The navigation app. Let's go.
Waze.
Now here we go.
So
here we go. Yeah. So like, we didn't have phone service there, but with this app, with certain generations of phone, you can download maps onto it, and it still picks up your satellite and just like puts you on like the map that you've downloaded.
Yeah.
So it's like
a
up to date,
free GPS navigation app without cell service, which was cool. So I'm like zooming in and I'm like looking at these roads and I'm like, this road has to be that road on this like picture in this guidebook. It was a road.
It was a road.
It was definitely like a small country road. And it took us through like beautiful winding hills of Ireland and around
sheep
lakes
everywhere.
and like mountains and sheep everywhere.
Lots of sheep.
And probably was not any official like portion of the Ring of Kerry,
It was not.
but like
But it was
had a really beautiful
probably
time.
more fun, honestly, because we were just going through these areas that nobody ever really goes to.
Right.
Yeah.
And all the lakes and everything. Those were super cool. We ended up, and on the way out, we ended up driving through a rainbow.
Yeah, we ended up
and I say driving through
at
a
a
rainbow.
national
We like
park,
drove
and we
through it.
see this rainbow like landing in the hills, and we literally drove through it.
Yeah, like you could see it as we're coming up to it. We're like, "Is this happening?" Like, it was just the weirdest thing.
Did you find a leopard?
No.
There was a second car of like our friends in front of us, and they also drove through the rainbow.
Yeah,
so we're like,
we
you
all
guys,
had this
like,
weird
that wasn't
experience,
just us,
and it was
right?
just like, I don't know how else to describe it besides we drove through a rainbow.
We
It's like,
did.
and I don't know how, or it doesn't. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah, we probably ran over the leprechauns that were there.
Yeah.
If there were any, I don't know. We did drink a lot of Beamish while we were there. I don't know if you know of Beamish, but it's a fantastic stout that's better than Guinness. Used to be able to find it in the States until about 2008. And then,
so they were purchased by Heineken, and they stopped international
Heineken distribution.
And so they stopped international distribution.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
with that.
But yeah,
So,
no, it's such a delicious beer. Like
Yeah.
if you ever make it to Ireland, anywhere on like the southwestern coast,
yeah, like Cork.
drink
It's brewed
all
in
of the
Cork.
Beamish.
Yeah.
I've been to
We've been
Ireland,
waiting
I
like
was
5
pretty
years
young.
to go back and drink this beer.
Yeah, we're like, I'm so excited to go drink
Wow.
Beamish.
Yes.
It is, it's worth it. It's I don't know, it's got a little bit of a roastier flavor than like your Guinness and
I
whatnot.
love a good roasty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
it's like
stout.
a good Irish stout.
They do a lot of ciders there too. It's not
Weird.
Yeah, a lot of cider. Yeah.
Guess I wouldn't have pegged them for
It's
cider town, cider country.
Take part of this.
And they like.
For myself.
Oh.
Right.
It's 18%.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's like 18%.
Yeah. You
Anyone
got
else want a little more?
I'll take a little more.
I'm saying no.
It is very
I'm
rich for me.
I'm slogging
That
through
is
this.
good.
I'm good.
You said you're what through it?
Huh? Slogging through.
I thought you said sliding through it. I was like, you okay over there?
I'm sliding through it.
The Corona's kicking in.
The crow's kicking in. Yeah, right, exactly. So yeah.
Might need to
other
turn on
fun
the bathroom
trips.
microphone permanently.
So yeah, every year, with the exception of 2020, recently we do a whitewater rafting trip down to Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was the same
actually-
river you're going for your birthday.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you guys are free and want to get
Yeah.
down,
July.
Again, I'm
so,
going to be busy
yeah,
that
so-
day.
I don't know what day.
Are you July?
Yeah, I'm July. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
So-
he's August.
Late July. And
Yeah,
she's
you're what, August 4th, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is his brother. It's so
We
funny.
haven't told the
So-
story.
Yeah,
Really?
no.
I do have a twin brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was telling her earlier that one of our side conversations was that I do remember coming to the camp out at Andy's house. At some point.
Right
So
on.
I must have met
Okay.
you before.
Yeah.
I feel like I
I'm so
remember
sorry.
doing that too.
Yeah.
Unless, did you guys show up the night of our wedding? Because that Saturday night, our friends
Oh, yeah,
partied, and
apparently they
apparently
had-
a bunch of people ate mushrooms and stayed up until like
Was
5 in the
not
morning.
us.
No, I didn't have
No.
any mushrooms.
No
And so,
mushrooms.
yeah,
Not
we
even
were
in
not
Portobello.
there for
Portobello's.
that.
They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Portobello's.
Yeah.
and the-
Well,
Shiitakes.
I mean,
Yeah.
talking about smoking salvia and
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Why don't you try that plant behind you?
Yeah,
That's poison ivy.
some kava kava and.
That's right. I don't know how this
Yeah.
got us. Where do we start?
Okay, so in any
Anyway,
case,
so
yeah,
John's
we're talking about,
birthday
yeah,
is end of July. It's
Yeah.
July 29th.
Yeah.
My birthday is August 9th.
Okay.
So,
birthday.
Hey.
And
It's a good
January
day.
My anniversary
18th.
is August 5th.
so I got married on August 5th. So our first wedding anniversary.
No, you
We
22nd
decided-
of February? 23rd. I was off by a day. Okay.
Our first wedding anniversary, we decided to go explore this river in Tennessee, go whitewater rafting for my first time, go
yeah.
camping, and we called it a birthday anniversary trip.
Nice.
It was super fun. We're like, we have to bring friends back to here. Like,
Right.
we found this campground that is like state park run, or
National Forest. It's on National Forest.
Even better.
yes,
Do you get it free because you're USDA?
No.
Oh, you're not there anymore.
but it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
$12 a night
Yes,
for
yeah.
car camping.
Per
There's
site.
You-
Per
no
site, not
per
per
site.
person.
Well, yeah,
That's
yeah.
still a good deal.
Oh,
Per
yeah, it's
site.
hell of a deal.
And then there's no RVs allowed. There's like 3 sites with electric hookup, so you can like hook up a smaller
Mhm.
camper.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's up to
Um,
22 feet, so you can have
There's
something.
running
22
water.
feet.
There's like toilets and showers. So
Mm.
especially after like rafting and swimming, it's great.
And there's hiking and mountain bike trails.
And
all this
yeah,
place.
and you can like jump into the river from the campsite and like swim.
yeah,
And it's $12 a night for a site. So we're like,
Hmm.
we have to bring people.
you can
down
have
here,
5
go
people
rafting.
to say
Awesome.
something
Yeah,
like that.
so we brought like
it's-
a party down the next year, and then I guess we did 2 years, so 2018 and then 2019. So then we didn't go in 2020.
yeah.
So then we went back in 2021, and then this past year we like weren't sure if we were going to be able to plan it because I was interviewing for other jobs and we weren't sure if we were moving, and it was like a whole weird timeline.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So when we found out I didn't get the position, we were like, fuck it, we're going rafting. And we planned like 2 weeks out, but our friends who wrote the guidebook,
Mhm.
who brought their 7-month-old baby camping for
Wow.
their first
Yeah.
time. And
Jeez.
Yeah.
it was a great time.
Yeah, they're like, we're not sure how this is going to work out. We might have to leave early kind of thing.
She
but
is the
whatever.
most chill baby. It was
Oh, yeah,
great.
no, it was totally fine, even though it was, I mean, it was hot. It wasn't super hot. And like,
And that was their biggest concern, but we had like battery powered fans and they could take her on
Yeah,
a
they
car
were
ride
going-
with the AC if it got
Mhm.
really
going
hot.
drives up here. Yeah.
The water is super cold, so just like
Dunker
you
in.
fill up,
Yeah,
fill up our little thing with
go
some
swimming
water
with it.
consider
Yeah,
and
yeah.
our
PFDRs,
little tub.
go
Yeah.
around a rope and just have
Yeah.
hang out in the water.
Yeah.
Right.
We'd make great parents because that's
Mhm.
the, my
Yeah, John would just be like floating a baby in the
and
river.
just
He's like,
yeah,
it's fine.
we're just chilling. We're just chilling. No, we had the dogs in the PFDs, and we would jump into the river. Instead of the section of river, it's actually, depending on the dam release and everything, it can flow pretty heavily there. So you jump out into this quick moving whitewater, more or less. And our puppy just loved it, and we had him on the PFD and like clipped to a line on us. But you would think that as we were walking through the parking lot, because he would just lose it, start howling and everything.
Mhm.
So people
Yeah, you would
probably-
think we're murdering a dog.
no, he was so excited to jump back in the water
Yeah.
that like we had to carry him by like the handle on the PFD because he just wanted to run down and jump in.
Oh,
so we
wow.
were like jumping off this 6-foot rock into into whitewater, and floating down the river with him, and So in any case, this is one of our favorite trips to go on, and it's like I said, it's about a 5.5 hour drive from where we're at.
Just like
That's
float
awesome. Just floating
down along the campground.
So the rafting is fun, but honestly, we end up most of the time having more fun just hanging out at the campsite,
right? Yeah.
Because you can do this, and then you go and
and that's why next year you just did the parking lot, right?
Yeah, we're just in the parking lot. Yeah,
exactly.
in the parking lot. Yeah,
that's good.
Parking lot road trips.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a follow up for your blog.
Yeah. I'll tell you about all of the best parking lots that I've been to.
Yeah, definitely.
This is one of them.
That's going to be an After Dark podcast conversation.
Parking lot.
After Dark,
So you asked about our favorite
vacation place to want to,
Yeah, what about you?
I don't know. I mean, Grand Teton could not really be beat, but we did have a lovely time in Smoky Mountains, so... Yeah. I mean, that's a lot closer for you.
Yeah, it is. And actually, we just found out that one of our neighbors, their family has property there. Joey.
Oh, he told us that. Oh, you didn't know.
Well, he didn't invite us until like last week.
Fuck Joey.
Yeah, right. Joey, exactly.
We just shout conversations from our deck, like 2 houses down.
We're actually going to get some jarts and start playing backyard jarts.
John just found jarts in his parents' garage.
I did, but they're
I know jorts, but I don't know jarts.
Like lawn darts?
Yeah, but what's the J stand?
John.
Oh, yeah, John's darts.
John, and John and random keys. I don't. Yeah. Okay.
Jarts.
I'm not cutting it. Sorry, John. You're staying in.
No, the jarts that I didn't find the original ones. I know they're somewhere at my parents' house.
Yeah, these are plastic ones.
Yeah, they're plastic blunted things.
Maybe we call them juvenile lawn
darts.
Oh,
all right.
Juvenile.
Do you still have all the debutante stuff?
No, I think most of that got not like we didn't get rid of it per se. It just got repurposed at the house. Like my dad built out like the floor and the barn kind of thing. And I know he used the big like orange debutante sign for some stuff for that. And then he recently got rid of all that ductwork and the old sign that was in the back.
No, that was your dad's store or was your family's store?
It was okay. So my grandfather got the store. I don't remember what the original name was. He had some business partner in Norwich and whatnot, and like downtown, like in
so it used to be downtown.
And then he bought it and named it Debutine.
Oh,
and then I think when they moved over to the mall, they changed it over to Debutante.
Remember Debutante? Nope. Remember the Northtown Mall?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember when it was like
the mall?
The mall had stores in it.
Yeah, it had a women's clothing store.
Yeah,
Debutante.
Yeah, Gaggy used to go there.
Yeah, Gaggy used to go there.
Yeah.
That and Styles. Styles had the giant bee seesaw in the middle.
Yeah, and then I don't actually know.
No?
But then there was BB Dairy, right?
Yeah,
BB Dairy.
Yeah. Lizer Sound.
Ooh.
No, that was West Side. That wasn't the mall. That was West Side where Staples is now.
The show gets very regionalized.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm
Specific
very
points.
used to conversations around here where I'm like, I have no idea what the hell y'all are talking about.
Well, and then there's, I mean, the classic Caldor and all
right.
that. And I actually, so another funny story about Caldor. I remember you got this CD one time, and I can't remember anything on it besides the need. What to do? I need it.
Psychic TV presents Ultra House. Glenn Medmore, who was a transvestite from Winnipeg.
Okay.
That sang, and then like does more of because I actually did some like research into Glenn Medmore years later, and he does more of like usually more country, and this was but that was like remixed. It's much better the remix.
Okay.
Than the country.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah, entertained Eric.
Yeah. That's true. We got a little laugh.
He sits entertained on that.
Yeah.
He sits entertained
from the
there we go.
transvestite from Winnipeg.
Right.
So yeah.
That's his Twitter handle.
What? Winnipeg TV.
Is it verified Twitter?
I was going to say, isn't that everyone's Twitter handle right now?
The blue,
or
the blue
WPG TV. That's what it'd be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
I used to get a lot of good tapes and CDs from there.
Yeah,
This is Offensive. I remember that was a good one.
Okay.
All, songs with bad words.
Okay. University Music used to have some good free
the posters
stuff.
And the free stuff.
Good
Fisu. I got a Fisu album. Also did some research into Fisu. Fisu was rap. It was very militant rap.
Okay.
Against wait.
Okay.
So I mean like violent.
I got a free CD one time from University Music called Incognito.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I still have that CD.
Yeah, I still have it. I have Glenn Medmore. And you guys listen to CD or do you stream or do you?
Yes.
So in our Subaru, in John's Subaru, we have all the CDs, but we stream in my truck.
In her Tacoma. Yeah,
that doesn't have a CD player.
It does.
Oh, okay.
But it also has Bluetooth. All right.
We splurge on the Spotify Premium.
I have Spotify Premium.
If you're driving from Ohio to here, then you have
to. I mean, we listen to podcasts a lot now,
including Backyard Road Trip.
Especially Backyard Road Trip.
I should churn these episodes out so you got something to listen to.
You really should. Yeah, you're gonna have to edit out like half of this shit.
I'm pretty sure I'm leaving all of it in.
Okay.
The last time he said that he was going to leave everything in, it was with Andrew, and he left everything in. And Andrew was doing things, including making his pec stance.
Yeah, but you wouldn't.
I can do one.
I mean, you can't see that on the podcast. Look at that, though.
Yeah.
You don't do that for me at home.
I will.
You're going to say
this must be like a new thing for any host.
I was making
Jeez, he's really.
That's what I'm saying. You can see it from here.
He's putting Andrew to shame.
Yeah.
It's just the one that I can't do the right side. I can only do the left side.
You should have a peck off.
Yeah,
I can do that with my.
That's definitely an After Dark topic.
Yeah. At this age, you can still do that. That's pretty talented.
This is we can't ruin it. We're so close, gang. We're so close to this being a good one.
Yeah. So we can talk about some more fun travels and adventures and things. Mm-hmm. So I mean
travels or what else did you learn about Cincinnati?
Just the parking lots. That's all.
Okay,
the parking lot road.
Did you learn about
the parking lots all stuck and they're
system?
horribly designed?
Oh no and no no.
Yeah, so abandoned subway system or like
cool.
the Mill Creek and its Army Corps of Engineers nonsense.
And everything else in Ohio with this Army Corps of Engineer nonsense. We don't need to go into that.
Yeah, Erica's in the Army Corps of Engineers, so you can just bring it up to him directly.
Tell me about some engineering discussions.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Go on, say it in the Army.
So... in any case, no, there's an abandoned subway system. It never ran.
So Cincinnati could have been Chicago. What?
Enjoy your backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Sorry.
If Cincinnati had gotten their subway system up and running, they would have been like Chicago.
Yeah, it would have been a much different thing.
As large of a city.
Really?
And depot.
Because of the transportation.
Yeah.
When did it try?
I'm not entirely sure, but there actually is a really good thing on YouTube you can watch. It's about a half hour long. These two guys, I don't know where they're from. They go in. There's
you know what? This is going to be a random thing. I'm cutting you off.
Oh, you're fine.
Is there a lot of skywalks in Cincinnati?
Oh.
No. There used to be There were a couple.
There was something I watched all on YouTube, and it was all about skywalks going from. And I started looking at all these kind of maps. This sounds familiar. I don't know what city it was.
Yeah, there used to be some, but I think they actually ended up tearing that down.
Is there a big mall in the downtown?
So check this out. This was they started construction in the early 1900s, and then funding Great Depression.
Oh wow!
With like full outlay.
Yeah. Goes from Central Parkway. Central Parkway is where you can actually access it by Cincinnati State.
They actually built it, and then
And then there was one station that they tried to convert into like a fallout shelter, which didn't make any sense. That was over by Liberty. I guess how it cuts down. And I watched this thing. It's like a half hour long. These guys. It's actually looks mostly boring, and I don't actually have any interest in going into these tunnels. If you watch the video, you've seen it all. It's like then they hike for like 5 hours to go through the whole thing.
Right.
Like, we gotta hike 5 hours out now.
Yeah, Skywalk dismantled in stages from 2002 to 2020.
Yeah, I was gonna say they just tore it down. It was like over by Macy's.
I did some things about. I researched that like one day going.
The last.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, you guys down for another one of these Cincinnati? Yeah. This is the Outlaw Pale Ale gluten reduce. It's from High Grain Brewing and American Outlaws, which I've never even heard of.
I'm going to switch up cups. I'm going to use this cup.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sure. You don't mind.
That just foamed all over the place. It's the lack of gluten, apparently.
That's right.
It's not holding the beer. It's not holding the beer together. It doesn't have that good gluten protein.
We will have to wrap up.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
Teddy needs to breathe.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Thank you. This is great.
We're just chatting, so it's good time.
Great to catch up.
Yeah. Well, then I'll talk about some more travel stuff then.
Here, I'll start with you then.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So Cincinnati is weird in that it's actually a pretty forested place, and there's actually a lot of good local trails and things just to go and explore. We have right behind where we live is Alms Park, and there's hiking trails back there and everything else, and it's we have the Little Miami River right there that we kayak on and all that. Recently, over the past year, a little longer for me, but Beth just got her first mountain bike, so now we're going mountain biking throughout the region. There's some great stuff in northern Kentucky. Just, I'd say an extension of Cincinnati, but it's completely different once you cross the river. Yeah, it's part of the metro area, but it's not. It's different. Yeah. So there's within
I took
15 minutes of us. Yeah, there's a couple of different mountain bike trails that you wouldn't expect in an urban center like that, but it's right there, and that's
cool.
It's a lot of fun.
You said you're playing music too?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so Jon is multifaceted.
Oh, yeah?
Jon is the artist who also is the scientist and horticulturalist, who also is a natural musician and a good woodworker and plumber. And
I can do that stuff. Yeah, I'm good at that stuff. Yeah.
You sound like Jim.
Yeah, I'm not great at. I'm not particularly great at instruments. I'm good at making things sound okay for a while, but if.
Okay, do each of you play an instrument? What do you play?
Guitar.
And Jim plays everything.
Yeah, Jim plays everything.
So, okay.
Yeah,
you might
he's actually
Jim's
good
a really good.
Yeah, he's actually good at the stuff.
Jon will walk up to any instrument, make beautiful noises come out of it, and then put it down and say, I don't know how to play that.
Yeah, I kind of remember.
And it makes me want to punch
But I'm not good at it. I'm not. Okay. Yeah.
Not technical.
Not technical.
That's the way I feel like I am
read
too.
Music. Piano really messes with me. But I can make it sound good. I can get to a piano, make some nice noises, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have the fingering right. I don't feel confident on it. Hey, I see that. That's what she said.
There you go. Exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, versus somebody who I grew up learning to play piano, reading music. Right. I did choir and vocals and theater. So I can read music. I can't play a lot of instruments for shit.
You're good at ukulele.
Yeah, the ukulele has worked for me. It's quite simple, right? But I can play it and sing with it, and that's what I'm good at. But for someone who's I don't know how to play this just because you don't know how to read music.
Well, it's not because I don't know how to read music. I mean, I don't think I have the technical skills, and I have these fat fingers, so I can't get.
Wait, are you talking about for the ukulele?
No, the ukulele. Yeah, that's fine. I can play the ukulele just fine. But yeah, I mean, but the mandolin, it's really tiny, so it's harder.
I literally walked up our stairs the other day, and we have a chair at the edge of our dining room, which is towards the base of our stairs. And I was walking up the stairs, and I was I wonder what he's playing. That sounds cool. On his phone, right? I wonder what Jon turned on. And I come downstairs and realize it's just him fucking around with the mandolin. Yeah.
Well, you guys have a mandolin.
Oh, yeah, I have a mandolin.
Yeah.
That actually, Jon he traded my dad for some tree work.
Yeah, I did some tree work for Dad, and he gave me a mandolin.
That's an excellent trade.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I mean,
for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he bought a nicer mandolin, which I'm kind of pissed about.
So my dad has gone through these phases of instruments.
Yeah, he bought a harp one time.
So he bought a harp, and then he stopped playing the harp, and then he bought a flute and stopped playing the flute, and then bought a mandolin and stopped playing the mandolin. I'm just
harp is not a small investment to decide.
No. It wasn't a large harp.
Yeah, it was a small harp.
It was a tabletop.
Yeah. But now he's got what's the little 4-string thingy?
The dulcimer?
The dulcimer, yeah.
So the dulcimer, I will say, my family, my dad's mother grew up in Chattanooga, have a lot of roots in Appalachia, and I'm a big fan of the dulcimer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm gonna say you cross the border to Kentucky, you can break out that dulcimer. So.
Yeah, but occasionally on Instagram, I do I've been doing these. I saw I make noise on shit. Is what I call John makes noise on shit, and that's this whole little series. And
what's your Instagram handle?
It's at Echoing Blue.
Ooh, that was your name. That
was
your name.
I am forever, so I stuck with it. So yeah.
Do you guys still have that? Like you hear that, and you're like, "Did I get a message?" And then you're like, "Wait, that was like fucking 25 years ago."
Yeah, I love. So what I love about like Instant Messenger, when I was in college, like that was like what.
People corresponded with,
And what I would always do these away messages. Then I would just take the titles of chapters from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So like drug frenzy at the circus and all that.
John was the original hipster. Did you guys know?
Las Vegas. There we go. Yeah. So in any case, I always loved that, just like putting out those because it's like incredibly vague. And then I would never respond to people on Instant Messenger. I would just have it open with an away message all the time.
So dark and
cryptic. Yeah, I know.
The original hipster.
Blue. I'm not the original hipster. I did live in New York City in the 2000s for 5 years. You know,
he saw the Strokes before they were.
I was
saw the Raptor.
So I'll tell you this: I burned my mouth one time. You want to know why? I was living in New York and I ate pizza before it was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Deleting the entire
but it's the trombone that says, "I'm not recording it anyway."
That's
never
great.
use a sound effect here, but I should.
Now. All right, you can leave now. Okay. We'll just finish up.
Play off, keyboard cat.
Yeah. All right. So,
What is this beer?
This is the gluten-free one.
Gluten-free?
No, gluten-reduced. Right?
Okay.
Gluten-reduced.
Yeah.
This is. I don't know if you noticed when I think you were leaving the room when we opened it. It started foaming everywhere because it didn't have the gluten proteins to keep it from foaming all over my lap.
It will just make me half throw up. It's like if you're gluten.
Yeah, exactly. If you have celiacs, you're only going to have a half bad time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Half the roll.
Hedge your bets.
Right. Yeah, but it's actually not too bad. I don't know why you'd
really
make
like the flavors.
Reduced, but yeah,
it's
this was new apparently, and they just happen to have.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Have it at the Kroger. So
thanks for bringing all the
unremarkable. Yeah, it's like it's not bad.
Yeah,
you could drink
it over.
Right. Yeah.
Just look at the drink. It's fine.
Drink it over that.
I kind of
want
to try the Santa.
What's that?
The Christmas next.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can crack into it after the whole thing. I don't know what you guys are up to, but
we should probably wrap up a little bit.
Yeah, I know. We've been chatting on for.
Let Katie and Teddy come out of their cage.
Yeah.
You want to do the honors again?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming to Backyard Road Trips. My name's Jim. No, fuck, I was going to censor that.
Well, how about I say this?
I'm Jim.
Thank you for having us. Honestly, it's been an honor to be on your podcast.
Long-time listeners and first-time
caller.
First-time caller. So,
we really appreciate you guys coming on. That's so exciting.
We got John at Echoing Blue. And Beth, do you have a handle you want to
yes, it's Summer Loving Torture Party.
Summer Loving So just straight up. Words.
Dots in between the words.
Oh, dots.
With periods between the words.
It's
Summer's
from the National.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Summer Loving Torture Party, but with periods in between the words.
Right.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
In tradition of the last two episodes, I'm Zach.
I'm Jim.
And you can follow us at Backyard Road Trips on any Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter platforms, or on the
website at backyardroadtrips.com.
There you go.
You almost got it.
Well.
There you go.